What's up, YouTube? Demi here with another Demi Splains about the Incursion items that have come into the market, the magic ones, the rare versions, how they're going to affect the mirror market and standard, long-term, stuff like that. So we're just going to get into it with how the launch weekend went. As they mentioned on Saturday's launch news post, the Incursion launch was a huge success. Average player numbers online over the weekend put this launch at first place, ahead of even the gigantic 6-act 3.0 expansion we worked on for over 2 years. So that means that this is the best league start we've ever had. And that's amazing. With our new league development schedule in place, we had Incursion on the alpha server the week after it was announced, so about a month ago, and we were able to release it on time. Release it with no crunch time required. The development team worked completely normal hours and were able to get a lot of sleep in the days leading up to release. Notice how they didn't say during release. They probably didn't sleep at all that weekend, I'm gonna be honest. This means that we were able to release a league that was extensively tested, relatively bug-free and without a pre-launch stress. There was easy cleanup of post-launch problems. The live team were able to triage and patch most of the first weekend issues with a series of hotfixes that didn't involve restarting the realm. A handful of crashes and other small bugs were addressed. High priority stuff out of the way, they can focus on responding to other Incursion feedback while the rest of the team works on future content. So the main issue we had during league start was that the server started, a bunch of people got in, and then the login queues broke. Nobody else could log in. I was in 849th place in queue, and then when the first login wave hit, I got disconnected and reset to 100,000 or some crazy shit, right? That was kind of annoying. But in exchange for that, they just shut down the current servers and just did a full rollback. So everybody got a fresh start once they had the login queues fixed. That was the only issue we had. There were no other real crashes. There was no other like major patches that needed to be done day one. Like it was just that one little hiccup at the very beginning, and then it was smooth running from there out. That's probably the smoothest I've ever seen in the last 3 years. The extensive skill revamp and introduction of new skills has really shaken up the metagame, with players trying out a lot of new builds. We've been watching the development of new builds with interest and seeing some clever combinations so far. It's also interesting to see what people are using to level, especially with the new item options available. We're seeing far fewer Sunder boys and a fair amount more Arc boys now. Good. Alright, so, going into the items though, I've been getting this question a lot on stream and on YouTube comments and like messages on Discord, whatever, about how the new item mods are affecting the market when it comes to rare crafted items and the eventual mirror market, right? So there's a lot of new uniques. I'm not going to worry about those. You can look at those if you want, but the actual rare mods are what I want to get into. So these mods only drop from the apex of the temple. From what I understand so far, you have to like upgrade a room to augment your architect, Omnitech I think is what it's called, and then he will drop one of these items, right? Or he'll just randomly drop one. I've gotten a couple that I haven't really augmented for. And the way these work are a similar style to Warbands mods. It will drop as a magic or a rare item that has this mod on it guaranteed. You can't roll for these mods, they only drop as is. So if you get like a magic item, for example, with Tipotantes, or however you pronounce it, right? It'll have this mod on it, which is, I think it's T1 cold damage with cold pen as a prefix. The reason these mods are so powerful is that they do not take the same slot as a regular roll would. Like the tier 1 flat cold damage can stack with this one, so you can have that roll and this roll, which is really powerful. But the issue is that these are one-shot items, right? In order for something really good to get made, you're basically gonna have to drop it as is, augment a good mod or a good suffix, or just augment whatever, regal a good prefix, and then slam the third prefix to make a perfect item. For these lands with like T1 lightning damage, you basically have to aug whatever, regal it into tier 1 flat lightning, and then exalt another prefix that would be really good, such as weapon elemental damage, for example. The issue I have with these items is that they cannot be shaped, as far as I can tell. You can't get a shaped version of them or an elder version of them. They're always going to be just the one mod is a Incursion League specific mod, which isn't a bad thing. It just means that some of the really powerful items, such as these stat sticks, for example, on the shaped item, or like really high elder PDPS vol axis, stuff like that, they can't combine with those mods. But that being said, if you look at something like where the giant damage weapons, oh god, there's so many items in this. Where is it? This one, okay, Takati's. This is a really high PDPS weapon potential, right? And this can have Merciless on top of it. Merciless goes up to 179% physical damage. So I think it's like 169 plus 179 max. So you could potentially get a 348% fizz damage with 10% of Fizz's extra chaos prefixes that can also have tier 1 flat fizz, tier 1 attack speed, crit multi-suffixes, whatever, right? And that would definitely beat the current number 1s for sure. And I'm sure that they are going to come out of this league. I just don't see. I don't think it's going to be very common as people think, because the chances of you regaling it into tier 1 flat fizz, or sorry, tier 1% fizz are incredibly small. That being said, I'm not going to Eternal Craft Painbane, my Volax, until I'm sure that this is like that base doesn't exist, right? Because I mean, my base is going to have a potential of 300-ish% fizz. Where is she? Make sure I don't get PM. So Painbane, where is it? Painbane, here's Painbane Volvax, right? It's got tier 2%, so it's 169%, and T2 hybrid and crafted flat fizz, right? So the current Incursion mod can go in this slot. Instead of hybrid, I could have another Incursion mod that goes up to this percentage. So I could potentially get 340% fizz, and then tier 1 flat fizz, and then attack speed roll and weapon range or whatever else, right? And that would be way better DPS than this ever could potentially be. They're not in Path of Building yet, I don't think, so I can't show you the overall total DPS, but I'm assuming it can go up to like 1,100 to 1,200%, or 1,200 flat physical DPS, which is ridiculous. But again, the chances of that happening are incredibly small. That being said, we're only like a week or two into the league. Not even. We're like week 1 of league, and I'm not super worried about it, but I'm also very curious to see what comes out of the league, because some of these item mods are ridiculous. Like this one, for example. The spell mod, or the spell damage wands, you get like 180% spell damage with non-chaos as extra chaos damage, which is massively powerful for an elemental build. The issue is that you can't have Shaper penetration on it, 10% Ellie pen, or any of the other Shaper mods, right? It's weird. I like the mods, I like that they exist, and I'm sure that we're going to get some very powerful ones, like these, for example, movement speed and dodge as a prefix. That's hugely powerful for the dodge-based characters. Physical damage converted to fire, cold, lightning, that's also incredibly powerful as a glove mod. Like you could hit that plus life plus hybrid life and then go for your normal suffixes like resistances, attack speed, accuracy, whatever. There's definitely going to be new items coming out of this league. But I want to circle back to things like Essence League. When these first came out, everyone was like, oh, standard mirror market's dead. It's never going to be the same again. Everybody's going to just craft essence items and they're just going to shit all over the market. This league came out like, what was the expansion for this? 2.6 maybe? This is an old league, right? And there are still not essence mods or essence crafted items for every slot in standard, because it is so difficult to get a base that is triple T1 and then metacraft it among some of these items. And especially with how expensive essences are, like some of the higher tier essences cost like an Exalt, and you need hundreds of them, if not thousands of them, to guarantee a triple T1 suffix that you're looking for. That's hard. And it's been over a year probably since this league came out, and it's still not broken the standard mirror market like people say it has. The same thing with Shaper and Elder items. There have been a lot of shaped items like stat sticks that have come out and have totally shit all over the market, and that's great. But there's also a lot of slots where there are no Shaper items yet. There are no Elder items. Like there's no Elder Volex like Painbane that I've been trying to make. They just don't exist yet, even though these have been out for what, 2-3 leagues now. It takes a long time for the RNG to come together to give you that exact prefix item that you want that you can then metacraft into the finished item. And it's a matter of time until it happens, right? But if this league does not go core, which we don't know if it's going to, there's no way for me to know that. It's been a week. I can't answer that question. It is very well received. I think it has high potential to go core because it doesn't really negatively affect the game or how it plays. But you could potentially see items with this prefix mod that also have 130 max life. So it could go up to like 300 flat life and 11% max life. That's huge. That's way better than a belly ever could be, right? That's comparable to something like this, which is an Elder chest with max life, percent life, but those two mods would be the same and you'd have another prefix available to hit this mod on it. Like, that's insane. So I don't know what I'm really I guess what I'm trying to say exactly is it's not going to instantly kill the mirror market. As a standard player who also plays leagues to see items like this, it's not that common that these roles are going to combine together to give you exactly what you want. It is very possible though, so when it comes to standard crafters, most of us are going to stop crafting on bases that aren't available through standard and just wait and see what happens out of the league. Or we're going to play the league and set up whoops for items to try to pick up bases to potentially craft ridiculous mirror items later on. Like if somebody were able to find a weapon that had tier 1% fizz and this hybrid roll on it, and if it was a rare with a bunch of other mods on it, it doesn't matter. If they would sell that, if I could get that, rather, I would craft it to finish later on. If it was a rare with 6 properties, and it had the 2 prefixes that we want, as a standard player, you can just Eternal annul it until you get the mods off that you want off of it, right? I could imprint this, annul off the shitty mods. If I fail, just undo it until I get rid of the shitty mods, and I could have something to work with to make a perfect item later on. And I know there are players that are going to be doing that. I'm sure the really high-end standard players, myself included, are going to be whooping things like this, and it's going to be pretty cool to see. But I think the majority of these are just going to be random accidents, like happy accidents that are just going to be dropped with triple T1 or really high tier of like T1, T2, T3 maybe prefixes, and they're going to be crafted instead of Premier Service in League, which is great. I love seeing new meter items crafted. Like, I'm not, how do I explain this? I'm not a crafter that wants my items to stay #1 forever. I rarely ever make real #1s. I make a couple. I think I've made a few so far. And like, when I see new items crafted, I'm happy that the economy is like moving forward. I'm not angry that my items are being beaten. That's awesome. I like seeing new items crafted. Like, I want to see people craft insane items. That's the whole point of this game, and this league is really focused on bringing back new focus on rares. Like, rares being the best potential items in this game, I think, is one of the favorite things about Path of Exile. And the fact that we can craft them from scratch is also incredibly powerful. Like, I love that about PvE, and not many other games have that. Most games like this, ARPGs, you want to go for a unique that's best in slot. I'd like to see builds where every item is a rare with incredibly powerful Shaped and Elder and Essence and Incursion mods on it. So I guess I'm going to stop ranting about this. If you have any questions or any thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am still playing the league. I'm level 90 at this point. I have like 5 or 6x. I'm just kind of like building up my currency, filling out my atlas, getting all the tier 10s up to T10s filled out. I'll be shaping my atlas soon, but I just want to get this out there so that people can like hear the thoughts of a standard crafter, I guess, on this, because a lot of people are freaking out about these mods, and I'm not. I've seen Essence come and go. I've seen Shaper come and go. I've seen Warbands come and go. Elder items come and go. Like, it's not a giant deal for me. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, a rating, whatever. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I post a new video almost every day at noon Eastern Standard Time, or randomly whenever I finish a stream, since I've been doing like 14 to 20 hour streams lately. Yeah, if you want to support what I do, my Patreon and my Twitch stream are linked in the description below the video. I hope you guys are having a good time in Incursion League. Hope you're going to get some of these items. Get me a perfect item. That'd be cool. I will try to buy it from you when the league ends. I think I have, what, yeah, 600 Exalts, 22 Eternals built up. I've actually made like close to 300x since league started by standard sales, because I actually respond to my high value trades. I locked all of my tabs that are less than 5x, but everything above that, if somebody PMs me for something, I'm swapping over to make that sale, because it's just currency for crafting videos down the line. But I'll see you guys on stream. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. That'll be Demi out.